Britain's railways are a key artery for the transportation of everything from cargo to commuters. Over the next 30 minutes, we will be exploring how the railways can meet the demands of the modern world with some of the industry's most innovative companies.
Hello, my name is Julian Davis, Managing Director of Flowtech Industrial Limited. We're a gates distribution partner for the supply into the rail sector. We are approved to supply to GMRT safety critical standards as well as ISO 9001. We supply flexible hose and rigid pipe solutions along with valves and fittings for a variety of markets. Our products are backed up with a free on-site engineering support and installation assistance as well as extended manufacturer's warranty.
My name is Michael Hankins. I am the Managing Director of Rowe Hankins. The organisation started in 1979 with two qualified engineers who were selling hydraulic magnetic circuit breakers into various markets like Ministry of Defence, like aerospace and telecoms. However, they both decided that the best thing to do would be to focus on one particular market, and in 1986 Rowe Hankins was started and focused on railway applications.
I'm Mike Rose, I'm Managing Director of PDS. We started out as a SCADA provider. SCADA stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. But what we're really talking about is the graphical user screens you would get in a control room environment. Since then, we've developed into a system integrator and provided fully integrated systems into the transportation and energy sectors. Current reference projects would include the A3 tunnel on Hindhead in Surrey. That's a new build tunnel under the site of special scientific interest in Surrey. We've also worked on two tunnels under the Olympics. We've worked on the two tunnels on the M25, and we're currently working on the access tunnel into Heathrow and some 20-kilometre tunnels under London for National Grid, where they're putting their high voltage power lines underground, and we have systems in those tunnels.
Ever since their inception in the Industrial Revolution, trains have been critical to industry, commerce and our everyday lives.
I believe infrastructure is critical to Britain, especially for economic growth. The infrastructure of Britain is like the arteries in a body that allow the blood to flow. Without infrastructure to allow goods and services to move around the country, economic growth can't be achieved, and Britain, I think, will fail to attract external investment.
It's massively important. It moves people around every day. There's 22,000 miles of track and millions of people move every day, so the infrastructure is massively important.
The modern era has brought great improvements in rail transport, with ever-increasing top speeds and ever more advanced on-train technologies.
I think the most important improvements have been made around the commercial management of projects. We tend to get involved very early on in the project, but we tend to be dealing with the main contractor who's actually delivering the project. We tend not to get involved with the company that will then be managing the infrastructure at the end of the project delivery. So whilst we have an input into the capital cost of the project, we don't always get an input into the through life cost of the project, and the two are very closely related.
Well, the most important improvements from a passenger perspective is efficiency and levels of comfort increase, so the train journey is a pleasant experience rather than having to cramped up, uncomfortable, overcrowded and late service. From a maintenance perspective, reliability is vital. Overhaulers must use the right product, which will improve reliability and reduce environmental impacts within the network, as well as reducing life costs in the trains and machinery.
I think the main thing that's changed is some years ago in the British Rail, they had a British Rail Research Centre. Today, this doesn't exist. So a lot of the engineering happens in companies like ourselves. We have a team of dedicated research and development engineers that have all come from a rail background, and these are the people actually creating innovation for it to then to be sold into rail and established in rail.
The biggest change to the rail industry while we've been in operation is simply a great level of investment. Over the last decade, there's been a heavy influx of capital into infrastructure improvements. Since entering the market, there has been a much greater investment in the overall upkeep and greater emphasis on developing, adopting new technologies and improvements. There is also a great emphasis on environmental impact and safety awareness. There's heavier financial penalties are being implemented by the environmental agencies for not adhering to their new latest regulations. Oil leaks on tracks and into watercourses has been a major concern, and heavy penalties have been applied. From weight reductions to tighter bend radius, improved abrasion resistant cover and higher temperature resistance, along with the innovation of the Megacrimp C insert coupling, this is provided to offer a total leak-free hose assembly connection. All this coupled with extensive product testing well beyond ISO standards ensures the Gates product will exceed expectations. With the use of the product range for rail applications, we have significantly improved the ease of installation, weight reduction and environmental impact to the operator.
With the green agenda becoming ever more central to our way of life and public transport a major part of that, there's never been a more important time for investment in our rail system. With so much public interest in the railways, government involvement continues to have a significant effect on many parts of the system. While the present system of operating franchises and track ownership has had some significant successes, such as supporting the massive influx of passengers during the Olympics, but it's not without its problems. The current bid process has encouraged a focus on economy rather than innovation, leaving great room for improvement across the entire system. A combination of government incentives and private investment are needed to ensure that the rail system will continue to offer a fast and efficient service.
There has been a lack of investment in the rail industry in the past. I don't think that the setup is correct with regards to the short-term franchising, because the emphasis is on shareholders' returns rather than long-term investment. So the challenge is to ensure the structure and investment is in place from a government level and in a private level to invest in improving the rail infrastructure overall, and not simply happy with a short-term fix, in my opinion. This would include new lines, new rolling stock, better track maintenance, etc.
It is a challenge to improve infrastructure where the ownership is not connected to the capital project that's happening. We find that the fund holder for the capital project is often not involved with the through-life costs, and we think that through-life analysis of cost is a fundamental part of a project. The difficulty being that the budget holder is often in a different place or a different business, and that's something that we think should be addressed by the industry.
The potential consequences of neglect could actually be accidents, derailments, which means possible deaths.
I think the main potential consequence of neglected infrastructure to the UK as a whole is the loss of revenue, the inability to move products and services around the country. I think will stop the UK from attracting external investment.
Our railways are a major part of Britain's industrial heritage and continue to be a critical infrastructure link for today's modern businesses. For the rail system to continue to compete with road and air transport, we need to make them a national priority and live up to the possibilities of partnerships between private industry and government investment.
I wouldn't say it was difficult working with local and national government. Projects are tendered in a very open manner, normally to the European Journal. Projects are scored in a very structured manner, so everyone works on a level playing field. Very often working with private companies, that isn't always the case. However, we found that in most cases technology will win through.
Maintenance is perhaps the most critical issue in the railways, offering a safe and reliable service.
Rail safety is paramount. It's as simple as that. And a number of companies have been working along IRIS recently, the International Railway Industry Standards.
Within the rail industries, there are challenges for correct engineering products. Mainly the safety is the main concern for all operators, whilst performance requirements for flexible hoses are in reality no different to other industries. Rail is concerned with high performance as well as the high speed movement of the passengers. This challenge is therefore to provide products which exceed the performance criteria. The Gates hose and fitting package meets this requirements by offering a product that's tested 3 times greater to the standard ISO requirements. This results in increased safety and increased product life. Well, from our viewpoint, the major key improvements that need to be made in the rail industry would be to keep improving product reliability and utilising the latest technologies to provide a safe and secure and reliable solution.
In our industry, safety is delivered usually by removing single points of failure, so most project architecture is based around a dual redundant system with high availability.
Railways offer a uniquely challenging engineering environment. The combination of high voltages, ever-increasing speeds, and hundreds of tons of machinery demands a great deal of knowledge and experience to successfully design for.
Transportation is a complex issue to work with because of these safety implications. Basically, you get it wrong, there are serious implications, loss of life or substantial loss of revenue. So everything has to be dual redundant, high availability, no single point of failure architecture for a project. The other complication is that most transportation projects are based on legacy systems, so you have to interface with old technology and provide a state-of-the-art solution.
I think the main problem is we have 19th century railways and we have 21st century expectations, so it doesn't always tie up.
From the extensive assembly testing carried out over the years, the Century Service IQ product has been developed. This is a little black box that sits on the installation line, records temperature peaks and pressure spikes of the system, and using a set of algorithms it can calculate the damage to the hose and send a signal to the operator to advise of hose life expectancy. This innovative tool provides train operators with constant monitoring of the hose assembly systems and pre-warns potential hose failures.
Also within our product portfolio is the on-train monitoring recorders, or the black box recorders as they're commonly known. We supply these into the industry. We also do a full service maintenance and calibration of them here within Rowe Hankins, and they record numerous signals from the train.
The systems that we use in our industry provide a lot of useful data, such as video analytics, where software algorithms can analyse CCTV feed and provide alarms to the operator of almost of impending situations before they develop into something serious.
Specialist engineering companies can offer some of the greatest improvements, both economically and technologically.
Railway engineers are the guys that do know what is happening on the railway. And these are the people that are coming up with new systems, new ideas, new developments, new ways to make rail safer. And as long as we're involved in that, and we have our own team of people doing that, it can only mean we go forward and progress.
Beyond needing to operate under thermal loads and substantial vibrations, components also need to ensure they offer value for money to train operators.
Well, what we look to in making a unique approach is not just to sell a piece of rubber hose and two end fittings. We're looking to supply product that's correctly specified and for the correct application, and want to reduce overall life cycle costs for the customer. We also work in partnership with the customer to provide extended manufacturer's warranty cover for the products supplied. And in essence, we're trying to offer a long-term partnership with the customer, not just to supply a product and walk away. We're looking to really work with them to reduce their life cycle costs.
Everybody these days, given the economic climate, is looking for best value. A major point of concern for us is that people will always look for best value in capital cost up front. but sometimes the through life cost of a project isn't taken into account at that stage.
The earlier you get in, the better, because you can then work to understand what the customer is fully trying to achieve, and you can work with them with the design team here, the engineering team here, and their own design and engineering teams to ensure that it's joined up thinking.
Our approach to a project and approach to its infrastructure and an integrated holistic approach can yield substantial benefits in terms of cost and energy saving. Those costs can only be maximised if these ideas are introduced from the beginning of the project in terms of its design, in terms of the project philosophy.
There are two developments that we've actually been working on over the last few years that will make rail travel safer. The first of this is a non-intrusive current monitorer, or a NIC as we call it, and this is all part of asset management. This affixes to various parts on the infrastructure itself and feeds back a signal to a central computer, which then says whether the unit is attached to is healthy, not healthy, and then that means preventative maintenance. Someone could go out and fix it before there's an incident. The other product that we've been working on is an intelligent wheel flange system. The train drives in a straight line at all times, so on bends it cuts through the corners, shaving away both the wheel and the rail, damaging both of them. With this system, this will supply a lubricant in fixed points that we control around the system, around the network, and this can help both extend the wheel life and the rail life. It also takes away the noise pollution and reduces the risk for rolling contact fatigue and crack compressions, which makes a safer system all round.
As a near exclusively electrically powered industry, the rail system has the potential to be one of the cleanest forms of transportation available. However, with high demands in both current and voltage, generating the power needed from current renewable sources both night and day is a challenge, leaving rail travel bound to fossil power for the foreseeable future. However, this doesn't mean that rail travel can't be environmentally friendly.
Well, we meet our environmental needs and obligations as a business. We are very proactive. We employ an outside consultant to assist us running our ISO 9001 accreditation. We're working with them to achieve and comply with the ISO 14001 environmental standards.
Efficiency has become a major focus of research in the rail industry, and significant progress has been made both to efficiency and total power needed. Innovation will continue to shape the face of the industry for years to come. People are of course critical to the way that the railways operate. However, the transport sector suffers from the same problems as the greater engineering industry, a lack of high quality applicants. This places the burden on employers to make sure their workers are up to the quality the railways demand. Meeting the high technical requirements to ensure safety takes high calibre applicants, continued training and frequent refresher courses. This necessitates continued and significant investment in the workforce for any contractor in the industry.
We're looking to develop our staff. We're wanting to reinvest heavily into their development, and we're trying to create a business model that provides our employees with a successful career and our customers with an efficient and valued service.
Upgrading the system is no small task, with over 10,000 miles of track and nearly 20,000 trains running every day. However, the kind of improvements on offer today already make economic and operational sense, simply requiring the initial investment and quickly paying for themselves.
The factors that can improve the rail standards in rail service are continual investment, safety, reliability and technological developments. More rolling stock, this will combine to form a better rail service. The more we can improve the rail service, the greater chance of reducing the nation's carbon footprint.
Under the IRIS, International Railway Industry Standards, there is a large section in there about the environmental policies, and One of the things that we've been working on with the intelligent wheel flange system is the noise pollution, which can only help for a better journey for the passengers, so they're not having to suffer the screeching and the squealing of the wheels and the rails as they pass by.
Such enhancements will soon become essential to meet continually increasing standards of efficiency, and the sooner they are made, the higher the rewards.
The secret behind our unique leak-free concept is the patented C-insert coupling. Secured inside the one-piece hose end, the C-insert, when swaged, bites onto the hose wire braid, creating a perfectly concentric seal, leaving no leak paths. This differs from other styles of hose end fittings where the 8-die crimping head creates an octagonal swage connection which leaves potential leak paths in the hose assembly.
We see ourselves being involved in transportation infrastructure development. We see ourselves focusing on efficient control room environments. We also see ourselves delivering energy efficient projects based on new technology, for example LED lighting, where we could provide that in conjunction with our own dimmable lighting system, which is already in use in many places in the UK.
Balancing the demands of training alongside infrastructure and equipment can be a challenge in itself, as no aspect of operations can be neglected.
We have several demands from the industry. We get demand from the train builders themselves. We get demand from the train operating companies, which actually service and maintain and run the trains. And we get a demand from the likes of Network Rail, who we've recently, over the last 2 years, been supplying approximately 20,000 of the non-intrusive current sensors which fix to the infrastructure.
Flowtech's vision for the future is to be an established supply partner to the rail industry through product specification and to be recognised as offering excellent value for money service and supply.
We're actually a family business. It was started as a family. We have various families here, which actually supplies stability. So the main focus of the company will be stability, as I assume is the railway industry.
Our business values are based around meeting our customers' needs. We provide a quality service backed by teamwork, passion and innovation, and our plan is to secure repeat and regular business from our clients on that basis.
There are a number of improvements that need to be made within the industry. People today are talking a lot about asset management and are talking about ERTMS, which is asset management is looking after the systems you have in place and being able to recognise when they're possibly failing so you can fix it before there's an incident. And the ERTMS is a communication system, which is basically a signalling system, and this needs to be implemented. It's been talked about for a number of years, but it's still really only in the trial stage. The challenges faced are really that there is a lot of bureaucracy with this particular market, and there's a lot of influence from various divisions. So trying to get a product, say from conception to actual sale and implication, can take years.
I think policy shifts are inevitable given our method of government in our democratic society. Very often we'll see projects put on hold. For example, the Stonehenge Tunnel. Under one government it was going to be great, and the next government came in and it all stopped. I think that's inevitable. However, very often the size of the projects we get involved in and the gestation period for those projects is so long that if a project is started under one government, very often by the time another party comes into power, if it does, the project is so far evolved, there's been so much money spent on it, it can't be stopped.
It is important within the rail industry to have a niche. And within Rowe Hankins, we have a niche in as far as we design and develop products. We then see the products through to their full life cycle. We know they're fit for purpose, and we know they can work within the harsh environments of railway.
I think it's important to work in a niche. It allows you to escape a little bit from the harsh market cost-driven environment of the open market and provides a little bit of opportunity for a small return on a value engineered service.
The railways of the future can be a real asset to the nation, making the entire country accessible quickly and cheaply to everyone, speeding up supply chains and helping British businesses to compete with the world.
Flowtech's vision for the future is to be an established supply partner to the rail industry through product specification and to be recognised as offering excellent value for money service and supply.
For myself and Rowe Hankins, it's the full installation of the intelligent wheel flange system across the network. This will make it safer for both the network and the rolling stock and the passengers.
We think it's important to keep up with change in industry development. Our way of doing that is by keeping an eye on developing technology, by listening to our clients and analysing what they might be wanting in the future, and by investing in our ideas. We think it's absolutely vital to provide a cost-engineered and comprehensive solution to our clients. There's a harsh economic climate, there's not much money around. Our clients want a value for money service and they want it delivered by a professional business who will not fail, and that's where we fit in.